Background of the research. Elderly refers to age nearing or surpassing the lifespan of people in general. As the body ages, it becomes prone to the medical condition. Nowadays, the importance of take care of the elderly is commonly unnoticed. In the US alone, more than 500,000 reports of elder abuse reach authorities every year, and millions more cases go unreported. Globally, the number of cases of the elderly abuse is projected to increase as many countries have rapidly aging populations. The purpose of the research study is to create and raise awareness among the community about the importance of parenting. Problem statement. Elderly refers to age nearing or surpassing the life expectancy of human beings and the end of human life cycle. The number of elderly citizens in the country is increasing as life expectancy increases. Nowadays, most people are not aware and ignore about the elderly care that should be important to their parents. There are a few of elderly people who have been neglected or abused in their life. In a systematic review concerning the prevalence of elder mistreatment, the researchers conclude that about 20% of all dependent older adults suffer from neglect. Abuse of elders take many different forms, some involving intimidation or threats against the elderly and involving financial trickery. The most common type of abusing on elderly are in the type of their physical, emotional, sexual, financial exploitation, and others. The Quran and the Hadith provide guidelines and instruction on how parents and the elderly should be treated. The responsibility of adult children to care for the well-being of their parents is emphasized by Allah repeatedly in the Quran. From Islamic perspective, the care of the elderly is the responsibility that the adult child must be fulfilled. The purpose of this research study is to create awareness among the society by giving an exposure by providing informative websites about elderly care from the Islamic perspective. And it's also to instill a sense of responsibility and love for the elderly, as well as create awareness and raise awareness among the community about the importance of parenting. Significance of research. This study will be beneficial to the Muslim to get an exposure or knowledge that related to the care of elderly from the Islamic perspective. This resource also can be used as a platform to defend the right of elderly because of many people nowadays not realize that what they do to the elderly is wrong. On the basis of a properly test, this research will be helpful to summarize all that has been stated in Al-Quran and Hadith. Next is also providing the elaboration about the type of abuse or neglect that usually have done to the elderly. This significance will provide directness and a high level of contemplation to the importance of this knowledge. Research objective. There are several research objectives for this study. First, to design an attractive Islamic website about an elderly care. Second, to identify the suitable content about elderly care for an Islamic website based on Al-Quran and Hadith. Third, to develop an effective Islamic website about elderly care from the Islamic perspective. Research question. There are several research questions for this study. First, what is the design of an attractive Islamic website about an elderly care? Second, what is the suitable content about elderly care for an Islamic website based on Al-Quran and Hadith? Third, how to develop an effective Islamic website about elderly care from the Islamic perspective. sources of literature review. There are 15 sources. Number 1. Old Age and Elderly Care, an Islamic Perspective. Number 2. Journal of Religion and Aging, Islam and the Health of the Elderly. Number 3. Cultural Sustainability and Islamic Perspective in Introducing a Cohesive Retirement Village for Muslims. Number 4. Religious Perspective on Human Vulnerability in Bioethics, Advancing Global Bioethics. Number 5. Step Toward a Planning Framework for Elder Care in the Arab World. Number 6. Influence of Religiosity on the Saudi nursing student attitudes toward older people and perception on elderly care. Number 7. How can the focus on the ethical notion of dignity and respect for autonomy help to improve healthcare for elderly people in Islamic countries? Number 8. Islamic values in elderly care in Finland, the perspective of Muslim women caregiver. Number 9. Kinship care and older person, an Islamic perspective. Number 10. Toward human rights in residential care for older person. Number 11. What's go around come around, the attitudes and practice regarding aging and care for the elderly among Moroccan Muslim women living in Antwerp. Number 12. Aging, care dependency and care for older people in aging. Number 13. Family-based old age care in Arab country, between tradition and modernity. Number 14. The right of the elderly in the Arabic Middle East, Islamic theories versus Arabic practice. Number 15. The Christian and Islam, healing, nursing, and the spiritual dimension. Some consideration towards an understanding of the Islamic perspective on caring. Most of the methodology used for our sources is qualitative analysis. Most of publisher for our sources is from journal. In literature review also provide objective and result of the study.
The research design for this research is AD design that consisting of 5 phases needed to be followed, included analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. The method of data collection that will be used by the researcher is document analysis, and the sample of this analysis will be Quranic verse and hadith related to elderly care. The instrument for this analysis will be researcher data analysis for the analysis needs assessment. Next, design phase. This phase also use document analysis as the method of data collection. The sample for this phase will also be Quranic verse and hadith related to elderly care. The researcher will be the instrument, and data analysis for this phase is the analysis on the website design. Third, phase of development. In this phase, the researcher will use website software such as WordPress.com for developing website, PictArt apps for image editing, and Textro, the apps for the beautiful text video. In this phase, the data analysis will be analysis on the website development process. Implementation will be the fourth phase in this research design. For the data collection for this phase, the researcher will be testing the website, and the sample for the test is 10 participants only. The instrument will be also the researcher, and data analysis for this phase is the website performance. Okay, let's go to the final phase of evaluation. For the method of data collection, the survey will be implemented to gather the data information. The survey of 50 participants will be used as the sample for this phase. Besides, the researcher will conduct questionnaire for the instruments, and the analysis of usability and learner needs to be evaluated. That's all from us. Thank you very much.